You're watching West Wednesday 675, Justice for Tyrone West and Justice for all victims of police brutality. Tawanda, it's all you.
Thank you, my queen, and welcome, guys. And sorry we are like 10 minutes behind as our 7 o'clock time already passed. Yes, we're not going to have any special guests tonight, and I'll explain why when we get back. So if you could please stay tuned as we show you the video that we often show and share when we're on West Wednesday on via internet. So I'm sorry, online. So please stay tuned and we'll be back. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Can't stop. Won't stop. Till killer cops are in cell blocks. Can't stop.
The following video portrays an incident of assault and violence at the hands of police. Viewer discretion is advised.
I suggest you back the fuck up.
No, why you want to
This is Baltimore City Police Officer Jorge Bernardes Ruiz. In a video shot in 2016, Ruiz is seen with his knee on the back of an unknown man with a gun pointed at the man's head. His message was a clear one. Concerned onlookers, adhere to my dictates or else. Here, we can hear Ruiz saying to Baltimore residents,
I suggest you back the fuck up.
It is documented that Baltimore police officer Jorge Bernardes Ruiz is a repeat violent offender, even without access to all complaints against Ruiz, undisclosed by BPD Internal Affairs records. 6 cases involving Ruiz are known. This video will briefly highlight 6 total cases beginning in July of 2013. Case 1, Abdul Salam, July 1st, 2013. Here Salam is seen victoriously smiling in celebration after the jury found Ruiz and 2 other cops liable for brutality against him. However, because the trial was civil, not criminal, Ruiz was not fired and he did not go to jail.
Police profiled me. They followed me in the back of my house, harassing me. Police proceeded to violently and hostilely approach my van with me and my son in it. As I announced, this was my home, guns drawn. Once they reached my vehicle, they violently pulled me out, ramshacked my vehicle with my 3-year-old son strapped in his car seat, threw me against the gate, slammed me repeatedly. Picked me up by my feet, and while I'm upside down, they proceeded to drop me on my head, hog tie me, and immediately when I fell on my head, Ruiz, in a wrestling type of action, and kind of hit his knee against my neck. I was arrested. I had no idea what I was being arrested for. My son is scarred to this day. He remembers the incident as it happened yesterday. When he talks about it, he always refers to Daddy being on the floor with police yesterday.
Case 2, Darrell Harris, profiled, as seen in this video, July 17th, 2013.
Yeah, I said, what's wrong with it? Improper way with it. There's no such thing as an improper way.
You gonna tell me my job, bro?
I know the law.
Are you gonna tell me the law?
I know the law.
You gonna tell me the law?
I know the law. What's the problem? You giving me a ticket? You need my license registration?
Yeah, let me get it up.
To profile, y'all use the seatbelt as a reason. Profile.
Do me a favor, take out your keys.
Yeah, you can record me. For what? Nah. I don't feel safe right now. Do you want me to step out the car? Do you want me to step out the car? I'll step out the car. Call the police, man. What do you call a supervisor? I want to do shit. This is getting uploaded to the internet right now. Yeah?
And we are 2 law-abiding citizens that we are getting targeted, and I don't know why.
Just 24 hours later, Bernardes Ruiz played a leading role in the police killing of unarmed Tyrone West. Case number 3, the murder of Tyrone West, July 18th, 2013.
My brother Tyrone West was brutally murdered on July the 18th, 2013.
In both of these cases, when you look at the pleadings and the harsh language of these officers that have been quoted to me by reliable witnesses, the N-word.
And Killer Ruiz and Killer Chapman and the rest of those 11 and 15 killers, including David Lewis, took something from my family that they could never give us again. And that was my brother Tyrone West, one unarmed man who was brutally murdered, beat to death in broad daylight.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Yes, guys, so I apologize because I didn't realize I was on. I was having another conversation, and I apologize. But anyway, thank you guys so much for being here this evening online, and thanks for all the support last week when we went to be and uplift Dante Melton. It was the 1-year commemoration to his horrible unaliving, and it's still sad and disgusting. But we were honored to support our sister queen as she still fights for accountability for her son. We're sending her love and all the wonderful things that we can to try to support her in any which way we can. And that's why last week when we did West Wednesday, because even though we did West Wednesday there, but it wasn't about West Wednesday. It was more so about Dante Melton. And, and that's what we made it about. We didn't even read our sad list. And we had such a long sad list. And I didn't want to bring that into a space that was already, sad, wasn't going to, and that wasn't like I said, we were there. It was more so West Wednesday support Dante Melton than People Powers Assembly was out there. So, and shout out just to Dante Melton's family. Beautiful family. They should not be going through this. No one should be going through this type of nightmare that you don't sign up for. But that's why tonight I was supposed to have a online person with us, a special guest, a mother who lost her son, but I'll be bringing her on next West Wednesday. I'll be bringing her on. So, and if not, if we be outside in the streets, I'll definitely bring her on before this month is out. So, but again, I just want to, first of all, excited and happy that the documentary is now out, breaking down the blue wall. And I'm glad that people were able to see it. It, first appeared, on regular television, and then it went to PBS. And I shared the link now that everybody, around the world can actually watch it, and it's getting a lot of views. So thank you. But that is real. That was like nothing made out. I'm not an actress. That was real, raw pain. Like nobody family deserves to feel like we feel, and then to have these laws in place, such as the Leah board is horrible. Where so they used to get 10 days before they have to sit down to get an interview. But meanwhile, if something happens and we do something, we get snatched immediately and you get interrogated. It's a total difference. And that's always been my point, even though we stand up for community violence as well as police brutality, but there's a big difference when law enforcement officers take the life or brutalize someone. They have all these protections. And it's sad. It's really sad, especially when I feel as though you have people, no matter what work field that they work in, that really take their job serious and that want to be a difference maker. And then you get a bad rap just because. But again, if you see somebody getting brutalized and you stand by and you don't say anything, then guess what? You are part of that crowd. And that's just disgusting. But again, I wanted to just say if you haven't got a chance to see it, I will share the link again. Please make sure you watch the documentary short film. Shout out, to the beautiful filmmaker. Like, she took the time, Miss Alyssa, she took the time to actually, take and put my brother's story out there, as well as the time showing that how at the time Senator P.J. Carter, made legislation like to try to eat at that Leopold, and to me, it's just sad the stuff that we go through and the times that we're going through. So I just urge everybody, never ever stop fighting and never ever give up. And then also, I want y'all to keep in mind that the Peel Museum is still up and running. It's going to be going. Please utilize that safe space. Please go down there if you haven't gotten a chance to come out to see it. Check the times and things like that. And the exhibit, which is really amazing, is going to be up all the way until July the 26th. And I plan on every week, y'all, every week, once a week, I plan on being there. And I will let you guys know at different times. So if you didn't get a chance to come out there and you want to come out there, I plan on being there in place on this Friday from 3 to 5 p.m. So if you want to come out to see it, please come out, bring your family, and it's not just about Tyrone West, it's uplifting all of our hearts, our loved ones and even surviving victims and just all that. So definitely want to come out. And that was real powerful when we did the opening. So shout out for everybody that came to participate. And even if you couldn't make it physically there, just the stuff that you did, and, to help us get to that moment, any donations, any, buyings of the T-shirts, just anything in any which way that you help. Thank you so much. I cannot say thank you enough. And I'm just really feel excited, and big shout out to the West Coalition, for making it happen, like literally before this happened, we had, I guess we would say like a small show we put together. It was my sister Adina's idea. She's like, well, we should probably put your brother's artwork in something. And we had it at, I think it was, I can't remember, it was something space. And I think it's 24 space or whatever it is. I apologize that I don't know the exact name of the place, but it was really nice. And from that sparked a whole thing inside of, as I call my friend Dan the Man, and he went the whole entire 9 yards on doing what he had to do to secure this and help push this and being the leading force in this and leading us into that direction and making a dream happen that I wanted my brother to be down here to see. We wanted Darnell Rochester to be down here to be a part of it, as well as Corinne Gaines and all the victims that we displayed. And I'm so sorry that if we didn't get a chance to display anyone else, because I wish I had it. Whereas though I own a museum, I would have every impacted family. I don't care if you lived in Baltimore City, New York City, wherever you live, if you were affected, you would definitely be a part. But even though we couldn't have to open it up that broad, but we still carry your loved ones in our heart. They're not forgotten. And like, again, I'm just like really sad that we couldn't put every family even here in the city there, because it's way too many families. And that is the problem. That is the biggest problem whatsoever, that nobody's family should not feel this type of pain, because when this stuff happens, we are left to actually pay our dues in society, keep on moving as if something traumatizing, something that was so gut-wrenching that would change your life forever, and you have to pick up the pieces and keep it moving. It's disgusting. And I'm getting disgusted even more because literally yesterday was my grandmother's birthday, her heavenly birthday. But for my grandmother, the queen of my family, to literally had to leave this world with not seeing any type of accountability. Yes, she would see little small things that I would tell her and show her. But the biggest thing she wanted to see was people held accountable because she didn't even understand it. And all I keep hearing my grandmother say, why did they do Tyrone like that? Why did all those officers and her vision of what happened, at the age of when she received the news was, why did they, toss him on the ground like they did and, pretty much put him in a hole? That was the way she saw it in her mind, that they beat down her first grandchild and literally put him in like a seal hole. And that is horrible. But for her to actually leave this world and not be able to see anything, and for me to still be fighting 13 years later is disgusting. And I'm like, and this is July the 1st, and all I keep now is having these visions of when my brother was here with me on July the 1st, literally 13 years ago, when everything was great. When I just got my new car, it didn't even have for like 2 or 3 months, and we were riding around good. I was teaching summer camp, and even though I'm at another school, still teaching summer camp. But just having him, take me to work and pick me up, that was housing. That was everything to me, but it was nothing. It was nothing to those killer cops. He meant nothing to them, but he meant everything to my family. And for him not to be able to be with his children right now, he has children that are suffering. They don't even know what in the world. Why would that happen to their father? They have children, and they all are left like, I didn't even get to see my grandfather. That is something horrible. And I wouldn't wish this type of pain on anyone. And then to leave so many comrades around the way. My heart right now is feeling Nicole Patterson, that actually always, every commemoration, she was there. Every West Wednesday that she could make it, she was there. When I inspired her and I said, oh, you are so funny, you should be a comedian, she literally took that comment and ran and literally did that. She was a go-getter. And for her not to be here saddens my heart. There's so many that we lost. Even with Paula Muhammad's husband, and his children, they came to the exhibit. And I just remember being able to invite Paula Muhammad out, and she had a beautiful voice. She could sing, she could play the guitar. She would have loved to have done the opening, but I know she was glad that her husband and her children were there, and then with his new significant other that was there. I know she was looking down, smiling, being happy, But it's just sad. I'm just looking at like so many people that aren't here anymore. It just breaks my heart. It breaks my heart so bad from even my own loved ones. From my cousin Kayvon, a.k.a. Sheepy, he's no longer here. My uncle Clifton Anderson, he's no longer here. This stuff hurts, guys. You would never know the feeling if you go through it. And it's just a lot. But again, it's not going to stop us. We're going to continuously fight a fight that we never signed up for. And that's why I get so hurt and upset when people get mad at me for fighting for something that I never asked for. I never asked anyone to come and disrupt my family's life by snatching our loved one. Like, I never asked them to do that. I never asked for that. And for them to treat me as if I asked for that, and then you get mad because I have no choice but to fight you back peacefully and positively, is crazy. That's why this is a world that does not care about us. This is a dirty system that is a capitalist system that only cares about dollars. Dollars mean more than a life, and that's so disgusting. It is so sad. And right now, we're really in sad times, like with everything going on in the world from the day. It's like that. It's so humid and hot outside. It's like, and we're talking about 100 degrees outside, And then now I think about here in Baltimore City where they had they were holding up from turning people lights off as they were proclaiming to straighten out people BG&E bills and things like that, with everything being sky high, whether from food to just paying your BG&E to paying your rent, just trying to survive and live out here. It's horrible. But the fact that right now on July the 15th, y'all, they are getting ready to turn people that had these outstanding bills completely off. And you're talking about families that are going to be in the dark and in the hot heat. It's disgusting. This is a capitalist system that needs to be knocked down and rebuilt. Like, and this is not the West Coalition. This is me, Tawana, speaking. Like, I'm not speaking for us. I'm speaking for myself and what I see from my point of view. And that's the thing that I love about the West Coalition, because we come from many backgrounds, different beliefs. But one thing for certain, a few things for sure, that we do believe that the system needs to change. It is right. It's dirty. We believe that it could do way better than what it's doing, and we believe in peace. You know, I'm just so proud that the whole entire you talking about 675 weeks, positive, peaceful protest that never stops. And I'm so proud of the West Coalition. I'm proud of everybody. I'm proud of, everybody in the West Coalition. Uncle Bill did an amazing, outstanding job putting together all those videos, as well as the other people that did their parts, and Son of None, and just all Anson with his artwork, just everybody, Joe, just everybody, Abdul, like everybody did an amazing job. And I'm just so happy. I'm just so happy. And it's just like hard to just go through our everyday daily life, and then you add all this other stuff on top of stuff. It's just like a whole lot. So I just wanted to just give everybody a shout out and just say thank you. And unfortunately tonight we have even though we didn't have no new names on because we get like a list of names, but because we had such a long list last week that we didn't get a chance to, that's why I said, you know what, we're going to save those names. It wasn't like we were not going to uplift those family members' names of their loved ones. We were just going to do it today. So I'm just going to check in and see if anybody wanted to add or say anything. And then from there, we will, just start the fed list. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Well, I would like to add that for those who would like to go down and see the show at the Peel Museum, the museum's open just 4 days a week. So it's Thursday and Friday from 3 o'clock to 7 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday from 10 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon. It's free. And the show that we've put together as the West Coalition is on the 3rd floor. So you just need to go up to the 3rd floor. And I have to say, it took thousands of dollars to make this happen. And we worked very hard. Some people worked especially hard to raise that money. And the show is outstanding and honors the people that have been killed by the police and inspires us to fight hard to change this racist system. So please go. It's only going to be running another 3.5 weeks. So please plan to go soon if you can. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check. And I want to thank you, Uncle Bill, for actually taking the time to actually share it, because as many times as I bugged Hillary and she done sent me the whole entire schedule, I keep on forgetting exactly what it is without looking back at it and her text message. So I'm glad I did not have to go back, because me and Hillary text each other like literally every day. So I would have had to go back to like a billion text messages. So I just want to thank you for breaking that down. And then, thank you so much. So, you heard it, Uncle Bill. Yeah, thank you so much. And just thank you for being here. But, so I'm glad that he gave you guys the time. So, So, that thing run from Thursday to Sunday. Please come on out. Please definitely come on out. Like I said, I will be there this Friday, and then I will share with you the next, and then definitely mark your calendars because we're going to do the commemoration. I'll have more details about that, but mark your calendars, please, because we're going to actually do my brother's commemoration the first time ever there. And that way I can get like some of my family that will dread and won't dare go back to Kentmore, Causeway, where the whole horrible thing happened. So I feel glad that I have a space that we can come in a space that my family and I feel safe at. But then after that, we're gonna the ones that after you be in and getting nice cool air, and it does feel amazing in there. We can leave, and then we're gonna still go to Kentmore and Causeway because I wouldn't dare, even though I don't like being there, but I feel like every time I go there, I find out something new, and whether it's a new person, but it's just showing that community that we will never, ever, ever forget our loved one. We will always show up, even when it's hard and difficulty. And that's what I want to leave with you guys before I check in with the community. I mean, for the thoughts. Never, ever, no matter how difficult or hard something is, when you love something and you care about it, you show up. You show up, and not only you show up and you show up with all the love and all the things that are needed to be supportive. And that's what I love about us. We show up. So again, speaking of showing up, again, thank you guys for showing up every time we invite you to something. For showing up to see the documentary. And like I said, it's amazing. And I'll also keep you guys, because I have to check in with Baltimore B, because that documentary too was another documentary that's amazing that I was able to be blessed, and I'm very humble that they opened it up to let me be a part of that documentary too. That one is really nice as well, even though that was like an hour long, but definitely want you guys to check it out. But I'm just so right now, I got a lot going on, but I'm still staying humble, and and it's not the West Coalition, it's Tawanda. I'm still knowing that no matter what I go through, God is always in charge, so I'm just thankful and I'm just humble. So I want to do a mic check before we go into the mission statement and then on to the sad list. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Well, I would like to add, I forgot to say where the Peel Museum is in case someone would like to go and hasn't been there before. So if you're downtown and you're standing in War Memorial Plaza and you're facing City Hall, the Peel Museum will be in the block to your right, in that same block that's just next to City Hall, in the middle of that block. So that's it. Just wanted to add that. Mic check.
A mic check. And then also, if anybody's familiar with where where Real News is, Real News Network. If you're familiar, like you said, it's right there where City Hall, but it's right literally next door to the Real News. So if you know where Real News at, it's right there. You can't miss it. Mic check.
Mic check.
All right, so if all hearts and minds are clear, can someone read to see if we got any questions or comments?
Tawanda, I see 3. I don't know, Kalia, she wasn't sure her mic was working. I can read the 3 that I see up right now.
Okay.
Okay,
Please
so
do. Thank you.
Okay, so there's Kalia actually said mic check. Super Cardio said mic check, and he also said, I enjoyed my time there on that Saturday of the opening. And that's it. Mic check.
Mic check.
Awesome. Mic check.
Mic check.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. And yeah, thank y'all. It was great seeing you guys. So yeah, the time now is 7:43. So I'm gonna go on. If that's anybody else want to add, or say anything else, I'm gonna say our little statement, and we'll just go unfortunately to the part that we don't like is the sad list. So I'm gonna do one last mic check to see if anybody else want to say or add anything, and then we'll just take it from there. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Okay, awesome. So it seems like all hearts and minds are clear. So it is the mission of the West Coalition not to just fight for accountability for my big brother Tyrone West, but literally for all the victims of police brutality and murder. And I'll say that again, police brutality and murder. We believe in mediation because if you sat down at the table to talk about your serious situations that you may not agree with each other, but at least if you sat down to a table, you guys are talking, everybody, even if we agree to disagree, everybody can walk away safely. And that's what we believe in peace. We believe that no family member or no one deserves to be brutally executed. And even though we read these lists week after week, it's very hard for us. We're not trying to trigger anybody. We're just trying to say, hey, we know that this person, as Brother Brian always elegantly says, is connected to a family, a community, a bunch of people that love and care about them. But we're not trying to traumatize people or anything. And unfortunately, we get two lists. One is for the community violence. That's like a local list, that we get it from a local media. I'm sorry, that we get that list from. And then we also get the police brutality from a national media. And unfortunately, when we get these lists, unless we kind of go ourselves and do our own research or hear something that sounds sketchy, that we're like, even though I feel like nobody still deserves to be brutally murdered or executed, but in some cases we're not going to read somebody that did some real accountability, but I'm not going to go into that. But again, we're not here, but we don't have any information, unfortunately, about nothing surrounding the cases of who was unalived or anything. We also too know, even though we read the list of people that are no longer here, guess what? Every day, unfortunately, more than the people that are taken from us, people are being brutalized by law enforcement officers, and people are being brutalized by each other in the community, And I won't dare call it black on black crime and all this foolishness, because we know Asians kill Asians, Caucasians kill Caucasians, and they don't put that in a box, and I won't dare put my people in a box. We've been in the box long enough, and it's been overdue time that we come on out. So with that being said, we're just here, like I said, to just uplift names, show peace, love. If you're in a saying a prayer, please send prayers. If you're not into praying and you just want to send nothing but positive vibes, please do that. Because at the end of the day, as easy as it is for us to just let someone's name flow out of our mouth, through our tongue, right? And we know nothing about them, that is someone loved one. That name that we're saying belongs to someone that loves and care about them, that when you say their name, it breaks their hearts that they are no longer here. So let's be respectful, and let's just show love, peace, and just like the world now is missing humanity. That's what's going on. It's just a lot. And so, but I believe that with love, I always say live to love, love to live. I believe that with all my heart, because it is a blessing to live every day, even if it's a rough day. Guess what? Like I teach my students in class every day, hit that reset button. And every day that you wake up, that's the chance that reset button starts over. You may have the worst day the day before, and then you wake up and you might be on top of the world. And then before the day is over, you might feel like the whole entire world is on top of you. But however, I just ask you to just seek help, do whatever you can to stay positive. Whatever works for you, just please do it. But again, we're not here to exploit anybody. So I'm going to look at the time and I'm going to shut my fat mouth and we're going to just keep it moving. So now I believe that the time now is exactly 7:48. Let's just say for this time's sake, we're going to come back at 7:50 and we're going to read the names. Mic check.
Mic check.
All right, thank you guys. All right, the time now is 7:50. I'm gonna hand it on over to whoever wants to start off with. And I don't know if Brother Brian's here to do the community violence list, but we'll just take it from here. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check. I'm here. Since the last time we did one of these lists, there have been 6 homicides in Baltimore. Unfortunately, we only have a name for one of those, which we will lift up. And then as the others become available, we will try to lift them up as well. So yeah, it's a young 24-year-old Black man. And we know that, you know, as Twana says, this is someone's son, this is someone's brother, this is someone's coworker, this is someone's best friend, this is someone who just helped a neighbor move in, or you know, was in so many ways a part of a community. And so we lift their names up in prayer, in hope, and in commitment of ourselves to ending violence in our communities. And so I ask you to say the name of Xavier Williams.
Xavier Williams.
Thank you.
Thank you. It falls to me now to start the list of people who've been killed by the police. We have 28 people who we're going to uphold that were killed between June the 10th and June the 20th. So that's a week and a half. A horrendous reality that people are regularly killed by the police. And in the first 14 that I'll be doing, we have the really super tragic case of a 1-year-old, Cohen Wiley, who was also killed by the police. Shameless. First, in Midfield, Alabama, on the 10th of June, 19-year-old Xavier Gray.
Xavier Gray.
Again on the 10th, in Ottumwa, Iowa, 31-year-old man, Michael Zorek.
Michael Zorek.
On the 11th, in Mansfield, Pennsylvania, 34 years old, Charles Costanzo.
Charles Costanzo.
Once again on the 11th, in Phoenix, Arizona, 56 years old, James Glenn.
James Glenn.
In Richmond, Virginia, again on the 11th, in this case, a man whose age is unknown and whose name has been withheld by the cops.
No
No
blacks
blacks for killer cops.
Ash.
Ashe.
Ashe.
In Los Angeles, California, once again on the 11th, a man who similarly has his information has not been given to us in regard to his age, and his name has been withheld by the police.
Cell blocks for killer cops.
Ashe.
Ashe. In Milwaukee, Wisconsin, on the 12th, a man who was 22, Jalen Brown.
Jalen
Brown.
Jalen Brown.
In Faison, North Carolina, once again on the 12th, a 22-year-old man, Sean West Jr.
Sean
West
West
Jr.
Jr.
In Ocean Springs, Mississippi, again on the 12th, 28 years old, Austin Edwards.
Austin
Edwards.
Austin Edwards.
In Whitby, Idaho, on the 12th, once more, 34 years old, Nicholas Holly.
Nicholas Holly.
And close to home, on the 13th, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 57 years old, Eric Franks.
Eric Franks.
In Surprise, Arizona, once again on the 13th, 37 years old, Brandon Garcia.
Brandon
Garcia.
Brandon Garcia.
In Carson City, Nevada, on the 13th, in this case, we were not provided with the gender, the age, and we once again are facing a name that's been withheld by the police.
Cell blocks for killer cops.
Ashe.
Ashe. And the last person that I'll be upholding before we turn the mic over to Hillary, this is the 1-year-old in Senatobia, Mississippi, on the 14th of June. Shameful. 1 year old, I should say, Cohen Wiley.
Cohen Wiley.
And Hillary will uphold the remaining half of this tragic list for this evening.
Thank you. So we move on to June 14th, 2026, in Santa Ana, California. 16-year-old man, Jaden Michaka.
Jaden Michaka.
On the 15th of June in Sweetwater, Texas, 18-year-old man, Eric Iriart.
Eric
Iriart.
On the 15th again in Kingman, Arizona, 48-year-old female whose name was withheld by the police.
No blacks for killer cops. Ashe.
Ashe.
On the 16th in Miami, Oklahoma, a male whose age is unknown and whose name was withheld again by the police.
No blacks for killer cops. Ashe.
Ashe. Again on the 16th, again in Miami, Oklahoma, a female whose age is unknown but whose name was withheld by the police.
No blacks for killer cops. Ashe.
Ashe.
On the 16th in Washington, D.C., a male, 44 years old, Sean Williams.
Sean
Williams.
Sean Williams.
Also on the 16th in South Bend, Indiana, a male, 35, Juwan Bates.
Juwan
Bates.
On the 16th in Anchorage, Alaska, 33-year-old male, DeAndrea Robertson.
DeAndrea Robertson.
On the 17th in Siletz, Oregon, 49-year-old male, Daniel Noonan.
Daniel
Noonan.
Mm-hmm. On the 17th in Lake Tomahawk, Wisconsin, a person whose gender we don't know, age we don't know, and whose name was withheld by the police.
Bell blocks for killer cops. Ashe.
Ashe.
Jay.
On the 18th, in North Las Vegas, Nevada, a male whose age is unknown and whose name was also withheld by the police.
Bell blocks for killer cops. Ashe.
Ashe.
Okay. On the 19th, in Madeira, California, a male whose age is unknown and again, whose name was withheld by the police.
Bell blocks for killer cops. Ashe.
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 On the 19th, in Brooklyn, New York, a 48-year-old man, Lamin Simmons.
Lamin Simmons.
And our final one for this evening, on the 20th, in Sanford, Florida, a male whose age is unknown and whose name again was withheld by the police.
Bell blocks for killer cops. Ashe.
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 And that concludes this horrible list for this evening.
Super horrible. Super horrible. But again, I want to thank a big shout out to the West Coalition. Thank you guys so much. Just a shout out to, everybody. Just remember, live to love to live. I love you all, and we will definitely see you next West Wednesday. And if you're interested and you have the time, please come out to the Peel Museum this Friday between the time of 3 and 5 p.m. So, and if you haven't got a chance, please watch and share the documentary, Breaking Down the Blue Wall. So, live to love to live. Love you all. Big shout out to Rachel for always taking the time to put this thing together and putting it out there. So definitely appreciate your time, my queen. So the same way we brought you in with that awful video, we're going to take you guys out. And a big shout out for Uncle Bill for adding me to be able to go through, because if it wasn't for him, I would have to be somewhere outside or just breaking up or whatever. But thank you guys. Live to love to live. Love you all. And please stay tuned if you can for the video, the other half. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
And Mr. West begging for his life, and Mr. Salam begging for his child to be excluded and comforted from what was taking place. Not for himself, but for his 3-year-old child.
Case number 4, Adina Britt and family, September 10th, 2015.
My name is Adina Britt, and I wanted to submit a 30-second testimonial that Jorge Omar Bernardez Ruiz is one of the 11 terrorists that came into my house performing a home invasion in September 2015, terrorizing my entire family and even holding my 12-year-old son at gunpoint. He needs to be stopped.
Case number 5, unidentified arrestee, assaulted in 2016.
I suggest you back the fuck up.
No, why you
Again, this video did not surface until the summer of 2020. Case 6, Thomas McCullough, May 2016 and February 2017.
I heard my front door coming off the hinges like it exploded.
Thomas McCullough says it happened twice. In May 2016 and February 2017, Baltimore City Police burst through his green front door and raided his Pimlico home.
They said, police. They come up, shotguns, guns.
He says officers ransacked the place, looking for drugs, money, and weapons. He took pictures of the damage he says they left behind.
Tell us where the drugs are, the scales, the guns, and the large amounts of money.
Nothing was found. Now he's suing police, claiming officers, including a former member of the Gun Trace Task Force, frightened him, his wife, and father-in-law when the officers conducted what his suit calls an illegal search of his home. The owner of the house tells 11 News after the second raid, he had to replace the front door. McCullough and his attorney say they want Baltimore police held accountable.
There is a colossal breach of trust.
And McCullough tells us following both raids, no one was arrested or charged.
This all begs the question, When will Baltimore City State's Attorney see the prosecution of Bernardez Ruiz as warranted?
They were the stopping officers in these so-called jump-out cars, unmarked and so forth, that stopped both the West vehicle and the Salon vehicle without probable cause. And these officers are the ones that also were joined by others, but they are the ones who initiated the stops, pulled both men out of the vehicles, and commenced the vicious activity that was thrust upon them.
And the officer Ruiz that started this attack is still working and working with promotions. He is now sergeant. But the fact that this repeat violent offender had a history leading up to my brother. There was Darrell Harris, there was James Green, Joseph Green, Abdul Salam. No one family deserves to be brutally murdered or brutalized by this repeat violent offender Ruiz. It is time we take action. The time is now.
Baltimore police officer Jorge Bernardez Ruiz is a repeat violent offender. Based on these accounts, in accordance with the law, we, the West Coalition, call for him to be fired, prosecuted, and incarcerated.
We're more than hashtags and body bags. We're more than being 6 feet in the dirt and pictures and buttons on t-shirts. Our lives matter.
For the safety of our city, the prevention of further harm, and the justice for these families, we see no other option.
And again, I'll say, the time